Hey everybody, Coach here. Final thoughts on the week that has passed. Things are weird. Um, I was hoping by this point that school would feel a little bit more normal, that just life in general would feel a little bit more comfortable, but it doesn't. It still feels weird. Um, how we function day to day is still, it's very obvious that things are not the way that we would like them to be. And so it just makes me feel uncomfortable. A big part of what I do every day in the classroom revolves around interaction, social interaction with the students, and that piece has largely been removed. So it's been tough for me to adjust. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. But I think one of the thoughts that I had, and I think this stuck out, and I got to give full credit to Jaris, fellow teacher, because he pointed this out. He had asked me about skydiving, and he knew that I had been skydiving in the past, and he was making this connection between skydiving and growing up as it relates to our middle school students in particular. And I thought that what he did was very, very concise and very, very good. And so, again, full credit to him. But coming from someone who has been skydiving and someone who has grown up, kind of, I can definitely see the similarities between those two things. And the big connection there is this idea that intentionally skydiving is not done by yourself, at least in the beginning. And in fact, you have to have several tandem jumps under your belt before you're even able to jump solo. And the correlation there would be that growing up is much the same way. If you're fortunate enough to have people in your life as an adolescent that look out for you, like parents or grandparents or other family members or teachers, coaches, mentors, this is by design. And unfortunately, not everybody has that, but for those who do, it's obviously a great thing, and it's not by accident. You have people we would refer to these people as experienced experts. They're adults. They've been children in the past, and they've experienced a lot of things, and they've grown up, and they've made mistakes, and so on and so forth. And you have the ability as a child to grow up and learn from them, hopefully. And with the hope that one day you're prepared to jump solo when you become 18, 19, whenever it is that you end up jumping, so to speak, that you're prepared to do that. And skydiving, again, is the same idea. You get several jumps under your belt, and you've done it enough now with the guidance of an expert that when you're ready, and hopefully you are ready, that you can do that on your own. And it's not to suggest that children are completely incapable of making even big decisions, because they are, some more than others, but they're capable, large part. And I think sometimes the kids get this almost animosity towards adults that always feeling like they're choosing everything for them and they're making all the decisions for them. And there's some truth to that. But it's not to suggest that all children are incapable. It's the point that even if you are capable, you don't have to. I told a lot of my students when I shared this with them that if I were to jump out of an airplane by myself, I have some confidence in my ability to figure out most things. I'm going to know to pull the parachute at some point. I'll be able to figure out that there's one of these toggles, one of these cords, one of these handles on this vest is going to deploy the chute. And I'll probably figure that out. I'll probably figure out how to steer the parachute so that I can get going where I need to go. But again, the point isn't whether or not I'm capable of figuring that out. The point is that because I'm jumping with an experienced expert 100 or more times, I don't have to. And that's by design. I don't have to figure it out. I've got someone there that can help me and guide me. Same with an adolescent and an adult, that they're there to guide you. Because some of these big life things you shouldn't have to figure out or necessarily learn the hard way. See, some things that's relevant, and sometimes it's a really good way of learning. I would agree with that, but there's other things that you probably don't need to experience. And hopefully those people in your life can protect you from that. But I thought that was pretty powerful, and I appreciated Jaris for sharing that with me, and I then shared that with all of my students. So if you can find that helpful, and if you want to help maybe have that conversation with somebody that you're mentoring, or your child, or if you're a teacher or a coach, you can maybe help them understand where you're coming from when you're making all the decisions for them. That there's a reason behind that, and there's a reason for it, and a good reason. So I don't know if this is something that we're going to continue to do. I'm going to try it. Coach's final thoughts. We'll see. I'll try to post every Friday, and we'll just see how it goes. If you, again, find this helpful, let me know. And if you want to share it with somebody, that would be cool too. All right, guys. Have a good weekend.